in the studio. I'm not making it out. Welcome back to the Radio 2 Art Show. Still to come, we have a report on the Pet Shop Boys ballet, The Most Incredible Thing. Now we've just heard the title track from the new musical Betty Blue Eyes, and as the nation prepares to celebrate the marriage of Prince William to Kate Middleton, Betty Blue Eyes harks back to the tough economic times of the 40s when a young Princess Elizabeth tied the knot with Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. I am delighted to welcome two of the stars of the show, Reece Shearsmith and Adrian Scarborough, to the Radio 2 Art Show. Thank you very much for coming in.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
It was joyful watching you both, if you don't mind me saying, sort of sing along to that.
It's very catchy.
It is catchy.
It is. Let's talk about Betty Blue Eyes. It's based on the film A Private Function. Tell us the story, please, Reece.
A Private Function is a film by Malcolm Mowbray and Alan Bennett.
Yeah.
I think it was in 1983, Adrian?
I think it was.
And it starred Maggie Smith and Michael Palin. Michael was a chiropodist, and Maggie was his kind of very aspiring for higher class wife, and she and him are kind of completely down in the dumps, continually thwarted by the town council. It's 1947, the war's just happened, there's rationing going on, everyone's in a terrible state, but the town council are rearing a pig illegally to celebrate the royal wedding, and Joyce and Gilbert get wind of it, and Joyce decides to, the little worm that turned, that he will steal this pig and they'll have it for themselves after having been thwarted of a place on the parade, a shop of his own by the cruel town council. And it was a brilliant film, and it had everybody in the world in it, didn't it? A fantastic cast.
Quintessentially English, warm-hearted,
sort of
and
perfect.
brilliant.
Yeah,
Perfect
very
film,
strange,
yeah.
very dark film for Alan. I mean, it is quite dark, but it's got an odd flavour to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And this musical was incredibly, the very idea of it being a musical was thought of by two Americans, wasn't it?
Yes.
And
Truly.
also, what astute forward thinking, because the timing couldn't be... I mean, hello.
Yeah, I think Cameron made them get married just to make it fit.
Yes, I'm
Do you
sure
think he
probably
did?
had words.
Yeah.
He said, you know what would be really good for me?
I'll tell you what would work, William. You know, just if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But also...
But the whole Austerity Britain thing, you just couldn't make it up, could you? It's
I know.
amazing.
Absolutely. You mentioned Cameron Mackintosh. It's his first original musical in a decade. That has created, I don't know whether you're aware of this, something of a buzz. I mean, is that quite exciting to be part of that?
Well, he's incredibly excited about it.
What?
That's what's so wonderful about it, is that when Cameron gets excited about something, you know that it's got to be good, because he has
He's
a pedigree,
clever.
let's face it,
Yeah.
and he's a smart
He's not going to get
guy.
excited about anything.
Yeah, no, he is very incredibly excited. He really loves this show, and I don't think it would have been... It's such a strange little show. I mean, it's really... it's infectious, isn't it? And delightful to do. Hysterically funny to play. I'm all having such a ball doing it, because it's so silly.
We should say, Reece, that you're playing Henpecked Gilbert.
That's right.
Your wife is played by Sarah Lancashire, who is a brilliant actress.
She is, yeah.
Isn't
and Sarah
she?
really knows funny, and I think she's fantastic, yeah. She's
Well, I have
really
to say, as
perfect.
comedy combinations go, the two of you serve each other brilliantly.
Adrian, who do you play? Who
I
is
play
your
Inspector Wormold, he's the meat inspector from the Ministry of Food.
Already funny.
Yes,
That,
he's
like, literally, if you just came out and said that, I would be standing ovation.
yeah.
He's a very psychologically disturbed gentleman and takes his work far too seriously. Yes.
What I loved is when you came in, you two were chatting, and Reece turned to you and said, "What did you do your tech run through for your big number? What is your big number?" I mean, not while you were here. That would have been strange. Although I'm happy to help. But I believe
My
in
big
rehearsals.
number is called Painting by Heart, and I don't want to give too much away, but it involves... There's a certain amount of UV lighting, which is rather hilarious, and it does involve the carcasses of several pigs. Enough
It is
said.
quite brilliant. And
Is
Adrian,
it?
Adrian, I've been mesmerised by him in this
Oh,
rehearsal process. It's
this
so
mutual
funny.
appreciation.
No, but
must
it really
stop
is.
No,
right
but that's
here
a
and now.
lovely thing.
Where can we say it if we can't say
can't
it?
say
Yeah,
it.
you've got to say it here.
Yeah.
And also, people will be genuinely excited by you two, of course, Psychoville. We should say that you're dressed as the characters.
Yes.
No, right
Yes,
now.
Jelly and Jolly are reunited. Imagine that.
This is
and
lovely.
again, at Loggerheads.
But we should say, and also, can we mention who I've once interviewed and almost fell in love with, Sir Richard Eyre? I mean, he's
Oh,
directing.
goodness, yes, he
so
is.
he could direct anything. If it was a small play about a lone pencil.
That would be a good play.
Why wouldn't he do that? We've just been discussing the Olivier Awards. Adrian, you are nominated for Best Supporting Actor category for, of course, John in Terence Rattigan's After the Dance at the National. What would winning mean to you, and what does it mean to an actor?
The Oliviers are just so special, aren't they? They're sort of the pinnacle, I think, aren't they? They're the one you want. I'm sort of nauseated about how much I want. I've not liked myself for how much I want to win.
Okay, that's so sweet.
I've kind of rather gone off myself. But it's also quite difficult because in my category are three other actors who I won't mention, but they're...
Don't mention them.
No, I won't give them the time of day on the air. But,
I hope they're not good, are they?
But they are rather good. And,
so annoying.
And actually, I exchanged postcards with one of them before we were even nominated, saying how marvellous I thought he was in a particular performance. So that's quite nice, actually.
That's lovely.
Yes, there's mutual appreciation going on there as well.
That's very nice. So whoever wins, because when they do that at award ceremonies and they say, I'd like to just thank my fellow nominees, when it's heartfelt, it's actually very lovely. When it's just actors supporting other actors.
Yes, indeed.
We should also say you played the BBC radio announcer in The King's Speech. I
did.
reckon it's all down to you.
Imagine that.
Isn't it?
But isn't it bizarre? That 1 minute of film has brought me more attention than 23 years in the acting profession.
How annoying.
Yes.
But I believe that Colin, Tom, Geoffrey...
know them all so well.
I bet. Best friends. Now on your SIM card. They owe it all down to you. Anyway, this play... musical sounds absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you so
much.
much.
That's kind of right as well, you know. It is a play with music.
Yes.
Is
that
it?
is a very
Yes.
good description.
Because also you said it was still, you sensed Bennett.
Yeah, I think if you like the film, you absolutely get the spirit of the film and more. I mean, because it is a musical and they've changed it, but you do feel that it's what's nice is because we're not musical theatre people, but they wanted that. They've cast it with really good actors, not to do a disservice to musicals who might not have actors in it, but it's just nice. It's another level, a step up again, I think, when the scenes are well done, you know, and it matters and you care for the people, and then the songs only advance the story and it comes out of conversation, and that makes it feel really good.
In rehearsals, how do you stop yourself from laughing? I mean, do you have to numb yourself to the point where you know when the jokes are coming? Because otherwise, I imagine, even just sitting here now, I want to get the giggles. And you're not even...
It has to be said, after 6 weeks of rehearsal, nobody's laughing at anything anymore. We've all laughed so much that it'll be quite a surprise when we get an audience.
That will be the laugh bit.
Will you be nervous on the first night just because of the anticipation? I don't want to big up the Sir Richard Eyre, Sir Cameron Mackintosh, both of you, build up the anticipation, but will you be terrified?
Terrified.
I think so, yeah. I'm always terrified. I have to do one, then I'm all right. Once I've done it once, I think I have the memory of doing it once and I tell myself, you've done it once.
Yeah, so you can do it again.
So I just have to do the first one, then I'm all right, I think. Then I have the memory of thinking, well, you've achieved it. You did it in front of an audience one time. You can do it again, Reece.
Okay. We do have a month of previews as well.
A month of previews.
Before our press night.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes, so if we're not confident by then, when will we?
We shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah,
no,
that's a good point.
Let's be honest.
Final, I just have to mention this because people will be at home or driving their car clapping, hopefully not while they're driving, and they'll be excited about the idea of a pig on stage. But we should say that Betty is not a real pig.
Well, we're not going to say anything about Betty.
Right.
She's rather difficult to work with. And if she gets wind of any negative...
Would she be livid that you were both here?
Well, she may be, yeah. We'll have to go and give her a load of ginger nuts, won't we?
Extremely jealous.
She will be, yeah. She has her own dressing room.
Of course, goes without saying.
So, yeah, if you want to see Betty, you've just got to come and see her on stage.
Okay. Boys, thank you so much for coming in. Obviously, we hope you win the Olivier.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Betty Blue Eyes, starring Reece Shearsmith and Adrian Scarborough, previews at London's Novello Theatre from March 19th.